The most diverse substances are transported and distributed in pipelines every single day. This may include drinking water, fruit juices, oil and gas, as well as chemicals, acids, or alkalis. The fluid flowing through pipelines often display completely different properties. Consequently, there are different principles for their measurement. One such method is flow measurement based on Coriolis principle. The French physicist Gaspard Gustave de Coriolis set out the physical basis for this measuring principles over 200 years ago. What is interesting is that the Coriolis principle allows the flow of mass to be directly measured. Let's take a closer look at how this measurement method works. A tube is located inside each Coriolis flowmeter. An exciter causes the tube to oscillate constantly. Here, in an exaggerated example, if there is no flow, the measuring tube oscillates uniformly. Sensors are located at the inlet and outlet and registers this basic oscillation precisely. As soon as the fluid starts to flow in the measuring tube, however, additional twisting is imposed on the oscillation as a result of liquid's inertia. Now, due to the Coriolis effect, the inlet and outlet section of the tube oscillates at a different frequency at the same time. The highly sensitive sensors pick up the change in the tube oscillation in terms of time and space. This is known as phase shift and is a direct measure of how much liquid or a gas is currently flowing through the pipe. The higher the flow velocity and thus the total flow, the greater the deflection of the oscillating measuring tube. The application of Coriolis measuring principle does not stop here. It can also be used to simultaneously determine the density of the flowing fluid. To do so, the sensors are also registering the oscillating frequency, in other words, how often the tube moves back and forth in 1 second. From this animation, it is clear that a tube filled with water oscillates more frequently than the tube filled with honey, for example, which has higher density. Thus, the oscillating frequency is a direct measure of fluid density. Both density and the flow are measured simultaneously but independently via tube oscillation. Entrance and Hauser has continuously revolutionized and perfected Coriolis flow measuring technology in numerous innovation systems. This measuring technology is unique as it is the only way multiple process variables such as mass flow, volume flow, density, temperature, and even viscosity can be measured simultaneously in pipelines. For all applications, we have the right solution. Endress and Hauser, your single source supplier for measuring technology. Thank you, friends. This is not an original video, it is a practice video. So, I would like to thank you all for listening, and I would like to thank Endress and Hauser. Thank you.